then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Let us bow our heads. Our Father and our God, we acknowledge you as our Maker and our Creator, because that's what you are. Father, you are our Father's God. We thank you that we live in a nation where we can acknowledge you before a public meeting, because you have created both the state and the church and created them to work together, not against one another. And so, Father, I do pray your blessing upon this board as they meet tonight. Thank you for all of the work that they have put in to be here tonight, and committees and individual study and other things that they've had to do. Thank you for their hard work on our behalf as citizens of this county. We do pray that you would be glorified in their decisions. We spread the docket before you, that we would further your kingdom purposes for Mercer County. Father, we thank you that we live in this free nation, and we know we do not take that lightly. We thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, that is our blessed hope. It's in his precious name that we ask this. Amen and amen. Amen. Stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Gregg.
Here.
Sharon Jones. Jeff McWhorter.
Here.
Ed Pappas.
Here.
Fred Rooth.
Here.
Lori Sindelar. Here. Joe Vann.
Here.
Brian Anseeuw.
Here.
Donald Bell.
Here.
Mark Bieri.
Here.
All right, number 3, the minutes of the January 13th rescheduled board meeting.
Motion to accept. Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, number 4, have Mr. Todd Heath, Village of Joy. Like to stand up, please.
Why I'm here tonight, a few months ago, I'll start at the beginning. Approximately a year ago, we called animal control and we wanted to Joy have the animal control down there. So we started it, and our main goal was to be able to bring cats, because there's abundance of cats, which they're everywhere. Well, about 1 out of 5 or 6 trips up there, they'd take the cat, they'd have room for it. So we just quit paying it. We weren't going to do it. Never really signed a contract for it. Just called over the phone and said, hey, we want to do this. So it wasn't meeting the needs that we needed, so we just done away with it. A couple months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, I asked again. I called can't remember what her name is out there, Chris, yeah, about getting a contract for Joy. And she said, well, they got a meeting in a few days, they discuss it, and she'd get back to me. Well, she got back to me and they denied us a contract. How can a tax-based animal control deny taxpayers a contract for animal protection?
So, Joe, you're on.
May I answer this? I've been authorized by the other members of the committee. One, animal control is not tax-based.
So there's
no, it's fees. Strictly fees. They do not get an allotment from the property taxes. 2, we have an obligation to take care of strays in unincorporated areas and incorporated areas if they have a contract. If they don't have a contract, it's a $150 fee per call.
Okay, then how come over the last couple of months,
I'm not through yet.
We've had 4 or 5 calls and they said, no, we aren't coming down?
No,
No, that's what was told to the city clerk.
Okay, the only thing that I can say is a person's word is their bond, and that's just as good as the contract in my book. Now, if you had problems with them not coming down and doing the exact job that you needed done, then you should have got a hold of us and said, hey, they're not doing the job, you know? But instead, you just said, okay,
But they never said it was a 12-month contract. There was never anything said about a whole year contract when I talked to her.
is Chris
Right
here?
behind you.
Oh, okay.
Did we or did we not have an
Did we have an
governmental agreement?
Yes,
For 12 months?
it is a 1 year, and it's, you guys approve it every single year. Whoever contracts with us, it gets approved through the committee, and there is a written contract.
There never was.
There is, and you're saying for 2013,
I
would
don't
that be
know when it
correct?
was.
It'd be
Was it, who
2013.
was assigned by?
Who was the
That was
mayor
me.
of Joy? I can pull out the 2013 contract. I can definitely do that.
Can you obtain a copy of that contract?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So are they still gonna deny us? We're wanting that, I mean, that's my main goal, is we want the animal control.
You want to enter a new contract with them?
Yes, that's what I told her 2 months ago.
And how much is the contract?
It's like 130 or 140 a month.
Approximately. It's about $1,200 a year.
Well, we will address
And
this.
the reason why I'm asking is, it's not so much the cats, I'm not worried about the cats. We're having more and more complaints about dogs. And we've called, probably over the last few months, 4 or 5 times. Patty Ori can attest to this, that she's called, they've called the sheriff's office, and they said, they've called, and then they said they won't come down because Joy does not have a contract. So how can they not come down if there's no contract?
I know of several times, Todd, because I've responded personally
Right.
down to that dog complaint, so let's not say that the sheriff's department.
No, I
isn't
said you guys come
responding.
down to it. I'm not saying you're not responding.
Right, we
The-
come
the
down, we
dog
attempt to
controls.
find him, if we can catch the dog, I've caught dogs for Chris.
No, I'm not saying the sheriff's department didn't respond. What I'm saying is, they didn't come down, they said they weren't gonna come down, because we don't have a contract.
Would you care to?
I would. I did say that we would not come down because we did not have a contract, but I also said that I would go down to that particular place, which I did go to that particular place and speak to that gentleman about his dogs for the complainant. And just because we don't want dogs running at large for many reasons. But it was also made clear to you by me, I thought, that we were going to have to charge the $150 every time we got called.
And that was perfectly clear, I understood that.
Okay, but also, I believe the call that you're talking about, the other officer was on the other end of the county and was coming down, and then the dogs disappeared, if I'm correct.
I've never been
The
told that
two,
they
the
come to
little
town.
brown dog and a little black and white dog.
Chris, is there any other unincorporated areas in the county in which we don't have a contract to provide animal control?
Yes,
There are?
yes. Viola, New Windsor,
So what do they do with their animal problems?
they,
Pays 150.
or they have their own animal control situation set up, which is through the Department of Ag. You have to be licensed and.
So you are perfectly willing to respond to a call, provided they pay $150
Yes,
fee
if we
per
can
response?
get to it.
Why can't I have a contract?
What,
Well, you reneged on the last contract. But
That's
I
fine.
will bring that up at the next animal control.
It's not gonna make a difference, Joe, never mind.
the only reason that we'd ever had the discussion was because we were afraid that we weren't gonna be able to obligate and fulfill our end of the contract with another contractual municipality, which was Sherrard. And that was our discussion and that was our word. If they want to, I don't have a problem with it. It's just that people need to understand that there are 2 of us for this entire county.
Yeah, we understand that.
And I'm not just directing that towards you.
No, I'm not saying that,
Okay.
but I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, we're more than willing, we just didn't want to also enter into a contract that is gonna be, where you're expecting certain things and we're saying, we may not be able to fulfill this.
That's what
you
the
know?
first time was. And yeah, I probably should have come to the board, but I was new at what I was doing.
Todd, are you the mayor?
Yes,
Okay. So you're a mayor of one of our unincorporated areas?
correct.
It's incorporated.
It's incorporated.
incorporated.
Yeah.
Incorporated.
I think it said unincorporated.
No.
Joy's not
Oh, no,
incorporated.
Joy is a village.
So you're a mayor of one of our incorporated, and, okay, and you're coming on behalf of your
Yes.
city, your town. Well, yeah.
I guess my main goal is, we'd like to have the contract, we'll sign it, we'll pay it, whatever. It's,
Very well. We will.
And I think we
bring
should,
this up at
I
the
think we
next,
should move forward then.
Next meeting,
At the next meeting.
Yeah,
You
I
got
mean-
all three of the members right here.
yeah.
No, and that's fine, I mean, I approached it probably wrong the first time, I probably should have come to you guys, said, hey, we talked to her, we
Would you
talked
like to
about,
come, would you like to come to the next meeting?
Yeah,
when is it?
Let's see, 5 o'clock,
third, isn't it, on March?
huh?
The 17th.
17th at,
5:30.
5:30
I think
at
we
the
can,
jail
I
annex.
think we can get a resolution for you and your city.
Just across from the jail there?
Yeah, the annex,
Okay,
Used to be the food bank.
right.
Well,
Okay.
not exactly.
but it's gonna have to be approved by
They
the
were
full
using it.
board by the March meeting,
Yeah, we
correct?
can come back.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that.
I mean, that's my biggest concern, is I have a lot of people in town complaining about
Sure.
their dogs now.
But you're-
We didn't have a problem with dogs before, and cats, I mean, she knows as well as I do, the cat problem's throughout the whole county.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's more cats than there are people in most towns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do my best from the deer stand with cats.
So when's that season open up?
Where is that stuff close to?
Thank you.
I didn't say I have 3 cats. I love cats. I have 3 cats.
They're tasty, right?
Okay, number 5, law enforcement, Joe Vann.
Okay, you all have, copies in your, packet of the minutes of the last law enforcement meeting. If there's no questions, can I have a motion to approve?
I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Okay, item 6, highway committee meeting. Mr. Rooth.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 21st, or January 21st highway control meeting. I talked to Jimmy about this. He said there's nothing new on the agenda here, so everything, we've already talked about all this stuff, and so I'm just going over and I'd like to make a motion to approve this.
Could I ask you a question first, Fred? Is there anything that he's got for any day labor jobs coming up that we know of?
Not right offhand, but yeah, there's gonna be plenty of them when the weather.
Sweet, okay.
The Joey Black, they're gonna do a lot of work on that if it works out.
Good.
I will second the motion.
I'm sorry.
All in favor?
I will second the motion.
Okay, all in favor, or any discussion, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried. All right, animal control. Mr. Rooth again.
Well, I guess we've had a little talk about the animal control, and I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I will second that motion.
Any discussion?
Date, January 20th, I'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes.
Okay, Joe seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried. Item number 8, public health, Lori Sindelar.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the January 20th meeting.
Second. Oh, Ted second.
Ted seconded.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried. Item number 9, Mark Bieri, zoning.
A motion for the minutes, approve the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion on the approval of the zoning minutes of January 15th? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried.
What's that?
We have, oh,
Yeah, right, well, the ordinance, right?
No, motion for the second set of minutes.
Okay. I'll make a motion for the next set of minutes.
I'll second that. Okay, any discussion? All in favor of the January 29th meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried.
C, zoning C.
There is ordinance to rezone. Yeah, ordinance to rezone. We don't have anything in.
Yeah.
Back of it.
Oh, all right, we have two ordinance, first one, to rezone 7.88 acres to AG1 to R1, Nancy Woodward, trustee, and Daniel and Diana Nally.
Second. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next ordinance is to rezone 1.51 to 1.7 acres, AG1 to R1, John A. and Nancy L. Harris.
Yes. I didn't, yes.
Oh, there's, you second?
No, I have something to say before a motion.
Oh, okay, you second?
And, no, it's in the motion, it's just to talk.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Vicki talked to us beforehand, and it was put in the paper explaining they wanted it rezoned for the 1.51, but they put in the paper 1.70. Am I getting this right?
I'm not sure about that part of it. It's
Okay.
the surrounding part that I have a question.
Is that correct, Alan? Okay. So you can stop me anytime, but Vicki feels like this is correct, but the printing is wrong.
No.
The printing's wrong, but this is correct. Now I'm talking what was in the paper.
Herman, well, yeah, that'd be right. But the 1.7 comes from, he included the road in that.
Right.
Yeah, 1.51 is the actual acres for the, that'd be correct.
Which
Does the road have to be rezoned? Is that what you're saying? or-
I don't know why he does that.
So we just say
I- I-
1.51.
So,
But she wanted to talk about, but she, both of them sound like they have good control on this. Just
Okay, so
Herman
what are
stated
we
it
going to
wrong.
approve here? Are we gonna approve the 1.51?
Well,
Correct?
does
this
need to be republished with the
All that needs to be done here is just like at the bottom of the page, it says we can approve it, and then it'll be determined by their final recorded survey, whichever one they want to
The
go with.
1.51, I believe, was what was published.
In the paper.
And the 1.70,
Yeah.
that's what they were arguing about. but
Right.
they thought
They owned, give or take, an 80-acre property,
Yeah.
split it two ways, had a home they wanted separated, and they left out basically a driveway. Is what, am I right?
I believe
Okay.
so.
I just wanted to make sure.
So we're gonna approve it based on the
1.51.
151.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's
Donnie,
gotta be
approve it
approved
as it's written.
with both.
Donnie,
That's what I'd like to make a motion to approve both of them.
okay. To approve it as written right here.
Yep.
Okay.
second.
Wait a second, how can we approve both, the 1.51 and the 1.70?
Because all
And
that
then it'll be
says,
determined by the final recorded survey.
What they're saying is they put in the paper as 1.51.
Right.
Then when they did it, they needed 1.7 to have a driveway into the place. So that's why it was increased from what was in the paper.
Yeah, I see it.
And we have the
So on the
track here.
We have it at the bottom, right?
Yeah,
Right
well,
here.
well, I was on the backside reading this, the new business, and petition approved within parameters of 1.5 acres to 1.70. And, yeah, I see it says to be determined by the
Yeah.
final recorded survey.
so the paper is published at 1.51, and it's actually 1.7.
Correct.
Okay.
We're not gonna get any trouble approving the 1.7 when it's published 1.51.
We're
According
approving
to
both.
Vicki.
We're approving
Approving
both.
both.
According to the final survey.
We could ask our state's attorney. Oh, he's not here.
Any further discussion?
We have, we have.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Have a
looked
motion
at
and a
this?
second.
no, we have.
Oh, we have a second. Okay, all in favor?
While of this.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign, motion carried. Planning officer. And, oh, there wasn't, as discussed on the finance.
So, can we vote on that? This meeting would have to go on the next month. Since it's written planning off, we can't vote on hiring Rick or anything.
Yeah, as long as it was on the agenda.
Okay, also move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the plating officer, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried. Okay. Next, item 10 is the minutes of the Personnel Committee meeting. Make a motion to approve that. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried. Number 11, Pappas.
Yes, we have three things before us. We have the minutes from tonight's Finance Committee meeting. I move that they be approved.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
One change,
Yes.
Oh,
it's February,
Oh,
not March,
yeah.
even though we would love for it to be March.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you caught that, Jeff. I didn't even look at that.
Okay, any further discussion?
Apparently, when you have an IRS on, give me something obvious.
All in favor of the approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried.
We have claims of $204,000 and some odd change to approve. I make the motion.
I second.
Okay, Joe seconds it. Any discussion? All in favor of paying the claims, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried.
The last item of business is the Finance Committee did approve the hiring of Aledo LLC for a fee of $34,500 to conduct an operational audit. I make that motion.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of going forward with the operational audit, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried. All right, number 12, resolution for holidays for, this would be the month of February. Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday. Make a motion to approve those.
I make that motion.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Okay, the resolution regarding Mercer County line of credit.
I make that motion.
Second.
I second.
Joe, seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, resolution of, for sale of delinquent property.
No.
Just, okay, this is for the, sale of delinquent tax property, 1.17-17-26-108-003, Brian Wilson Crane.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time, motion carried. Next one was, item D, resolution for retirement. We're gonna, table that until the next personnel meeting, where we get the information back from IRMF. Okay, number 8.
I'd make a move to table this till.
Second.
Oh, okay, any discussion? All right. All in favor of tabling this to the next board meeting?
Till next county board.
Yeah.
meeting, Pending.
Well,
review
first
by
of all,
the-
we need to work
well,
through it, and
Pending
Pending,
get the IRMF.
pending personnel committee,
that could be a couple of months, hopefully not.
we got table for March, and we only table again if we don't have. it.
Yeah. Yeah, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Okay, motion carried. Resolution regarding appointments. What's that?
Well, let's get a motion, and then we can have discussion.
I will, move that we approve this resolution.
I second it.
Any discussion?
Yes,
All,
but
oh, go ahead.
I was going to discuss this in
Okay.
detail. The reason for this is, we have over 50 different positions in this county that are appointed, committees and boards that are appointed by the chair and approved by the board. This is simply requiring a form. It doesn't affect anybody that's already on a committee or board, but new things, just a simple little form. This was adopted from other counties in Illinois, use the same thing. Just basic information about who the person is seeking an appointment. And this way it can be put on our website. They can fill that out ahead of time, and we actually know who we're appointing to boards and commissions.
I got a question, Joe. Do you have a list of the 50 different positions that need to be filled?
No, these aren't, most of them are already filled, but, for example, our E911 board, by new state legislation last year, 1/3 of their positions expired the 1st of January.
Oh, yeah.
But we have, no, I don't have a list, and that is something we need to,
Would that be on your web, or the site too?
it should be on our website when we have openings on the board, so we can get people that are interested in there to actually apply for them.
Sure.
It's a lot easier than trying to go around and knock on your neighbor's doors.
Right.
A good share of those are fire protection districts, and they're trustees for the fire protection district, so they refer people to the board that they have vetted and they, you know.
Right, but we should still know who they are.
Exactly, but the majority of them are those.
So we're approving the process.
Actually, they're not.
I agree with that.
Approving the allocation.
We're approving a process
Yeah.
that at least allows the board to see who we're appointing.
Yeah.
It's just a simple, two-page,
This is what's done in other counties, right, Joe? that you-
yes, this was actually, I adopted this directly from, McLean County, as a matter of fact, and, just changed the logo on it. And a couple of the words that don't apply.
I think it's a good process.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Okay, number F, this is the job description of the county administrator.
I make that motion.
Second it?
Second. And any discussion?
Yes, I would like to amend this in the packet to change the one thing, the under salary, change the range of 55,000 per annum to 70,000 per annum. We will attract in discussion with Mr. Clausen, we will discuss a much broader spectrum, and it says in the range, so it doesn't have to be that figure, it can be lower, it can be higher. It'll be something that the personnel committee would negotiate out with the candidates. And I did give you a copy with that change in it.
So you just wanna have in the range of 70,000 and not in the range of 55,000?
Exactly.
And then your low would be 35,000, is that what you said here?
Oh,
Well,
You're saying there is no low. Is that correct?
it could be lower than that. When you
Right.
say in the range,
Yeah.
it could be lower than that. There is no
There is no
bottom
low.
figure, there is no top
Right,
figure, but
okay.
it's gonna be right around that amount.
Well, that opens it up to, if we go down to 55, that opens it up, we could go up as high as 85 or 90 then, saying in the range, how big a range you want.
Well, we could, but you're on that committee, would you approve that?
No.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, but I think we're falsely,
But when we're saying 70,000, that is doable.
I thought we already did approve that on that committee.
We approved it at 55,
Yeah.
based on Mr. Clausen's recommendation. Then he called back and said, no, that's too low.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. you
No,
called back.
that's what, that was, am I correct, Ted?
He sent me an email, which I sent you, Joe, and he thought that 55 would not be in
high enough
the
to
range.
entice somebody,
What's that?
high enough to entice anybody to
Yeah,
come.
he thought, that, he thought you might be able to get somebody.
That doesn't mean we're not gonna get somebody for 65 or 60 either.
I say we,
Well, if
when
you
we put
publish
70
that
down.
It's gonna be hard for them to take less than that.
Yeah.
Well, the benefits package, though, has a lot to do with
I
it too.
know it
You
does,
know,
but
if
the
that's
public
very
70.
generous, if that's generous and you're getting a $70,000.
Well, I've made a motion to make that change, which takes
Okay.
priority over the other motion.
Okay, any further
If we
discussion,
have a
let's call
second
for a
on
vote. All in favor of the change of the,
that. We haven't had a second to change it.
oh, I thought,
Have we?
I second it.
Oh,
okay. All right, any further discussion then? Make a motion to approve the county administrator's contract as the change of 70,000 per annum. All in favor, say aye.
Now, are we just approving the change of it to 70?
Change,
That's all we're not approving the whole thing, just
We're
the
just
change.
approving the
Just
change.
70,000.
Oh, because there's another
That's-
motion that's
yeah.
already on the floor for that.
That's what all we're voting on, change it from 55 to 70,000, right?
Correct.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
Can I call for a roll call vote on that? Because I heard several.
I screwed up on my vote.
Hang on, I'm very excited. Okay, so this is a motion to change the resolution, or the job description to read to in the range of 70,000, is that correct? Gary Gregg,
No.
Aaron Jones, Jeff McWhorter,
No.
Ed Pappas.
Yes?
Fred Rooth,
Yes.
Lori Sindelar,
Yes.
Joe Vann,
Yes.
Brian Anseeuw,
Yes.
Donnie Bell,
No.
Mark Bieri.
Yes.
2/3 it passes.
Okay, motion carried. Next would be to approve the job description from the county administrator. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Resolution regarding treasurer fees. Is there anything back on that? See.
Oh, hang on.
I don't see anything in the,
I don't either.
Okay, we were trying to get a resolution together to, restrict. We have people who call and ask for a total tax file, which is very cumbersome. We charge $500 for that. We have out-of-county, out-of-state, really, people calling and pulling a FOIA request on us and asking to have it for nothing. So we have tried to take the stand that, that the taxpayers pay for that system to be used, and people are using it, randomly from out of state. We don't have any problem with local people. If they want it, they pay for it. So they were just trying to come up with a way to allow that to be charged for. And they're still researching the FOIA law.
Ted, go ahead.
Why would someone out of state want that information?
I don't know if they work for banks or
Okay.
mortgage companies or what, but they're using it for commercial purposes.
Okay.
So,
Joe.
and we don't have a
There's no
written resolution to actually
no,
vote on them this time, I move that this,
Okay.
be,
Table.
I second that.
well, there's nothing to table because it isn't here.
Okay, Mark.
Wouldn't this be something we can use our new group for to help you identify what those fees
yeah,
should be?
yeah, the fees
Oh, well,
itself
yeah,
is not
that's a
a
good point,
problem
Mark.
too much, it's just whether we can.
Legally do it.
But it
if
sounded like,
they're FOIA-ing
listening to
it,
them,
can we do it? So that's.
it sounded like
That's
this group we
good, yeah.
heard the other day should be able to answer that.
That's a good question. That's a
Legally,
good
tell you,
suggestion.
All right.
Sounds like that must be right up their alley.
Yeah,
So there's a motion to
Good
table it.
suggestion, Mark.
Who seconded that motion?
We're gonna hope that Bellwether is gonna take a look at this as part of the operations.
Okay, so
We're
we'll
gonna
just
ask them.
postpone it until.
There wasn't a resolution,
Right.
so you don't.
So we're moving to table this permanently?
No, it's
We have
still
a way to
no one
table.
can make any
No, nothing's
recommendation.
tabled
They were-
because we don't have a resolution.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so we're just gonna skip.
They were going to try to get it ready and they couldn't.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
All right, next item, number 13, appointment. Like to propose Steve Pearson to fill the unexpired term of Larry Finley for the Merit Commission. Steve, if you'd like to stand up. Introduce yourself.
Steve Pearson, I own spots here in Aledo, and be glad to serve on this committee to serve my county.
Thank you, Steve, for your willingness to serve.
And you'll notice in your packets that he's already filled out.
Yep.
That's great.
So you just-
Awesome, thank you, thank you.
Can we fill out a form of legal? Because we didn't have a form.
So I didn't put anything on the form you want.
Any questions for
We
Steve?
didn't get to it yet.
Yeah.
I do have one. You have no objection to this?
None.
Very good.
You have a motion?
I have one more
Oh, go
question.
ahead.
How long is this term for, the remainder of this term for?
I believe it's 2 years.
2 more years, okay.
Hang on a second, just check.
Okay.
Technology.
Because he was, Mr. Finley was serving out somebody else's expired term. Yes, it's 2 years.
Okay.
Something we must get that added to your sheet. Length of term.
Well, he just says he's gonna fill the unexpired term, so that covers it.
Well, that's something we need to keep in mind. We don't even have, some of our boards and members have not even, we don't even know what their terms are.
Okay, do we have a motion? I so moved to
Okay,
accept
second.
Steve's.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. Motion carried. Number 14, other business, non-action items. Any-
Looks like we have a report from our collection folks.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Tim Robdell for new members who may not have met me yet. Run the regional recycling facility and solid waste coordinator for County of Mercer, Warren, and McDonough. Before you, I think you have a report which includes our year-end report from 2014, as most of you know. I reiterated time and time again how very busy we were with the electronic side of the collection. We had a 14% increase last year over the year before that, which was a 17% increase over the year before that. And all told is a 150% increase since the electronics landfill ban went into place. So we have seen a mountain of electronics come through. I understand the sheriff has a mountain of his own to give me. Thank you for that. Our grand total came in at 37,000 pounds last year. On top of that was 152,000 paint, which got us to 990. We do some other things. We collect some shoes, unwanted medications from the Tri-County area. Cardboard is a function of our parent company with their food pantry. So right around 1 million pounds collected last year for 3 full-time equivalent people. We were pretty busy.
Unwanted medication, is there like a chain of command or a protocol or something to deal with that?
It goes through the health department. It has to be managed by qualified individuals to take that in, package it. We're basically just delivery folks. We take it.
So there's been a chain of command of that, so, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's in a secured location with the health department.
Okay. I figured there was, but,
We're often going here in 2015. We're at 48,000 pounds for electronics, which is up a little bit from last year. I expect we're gonna be up around 10% this year. I'm kinda hoping things are falling back now that the education is out there, and we're hopefully gonna see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, because we can't take too much more, and the funding is stretched, as you're gonna find out through our Tri-County negotiations. We had to reschedule last month's meeting, end-of-year vacations and a whole host of other year-end reporting stuff put me behind schedule. We're gonna meet February 23rd. Hopefully we can advance that significantly, have something ready for you at your April or May meeting to consider and hopefully vote on for a 5-year extension. I believe I informed you of the CRT glass issue last year. The sheer volume of electronics, mostly TVs, that has been seen caused, yes, sir.
Could you tell me what CRT is?
CRT, cathode ray tube televisions, the real heavy leaded glass, found in TVs and monitors. The state legislation was pretty weak. Their goal was 50%, 70% was all the manufacturers had to meet of their goals, so essentially 35% was the manufacturer's goal, what they paid for recycling. Of course, they're manufacturing much lighter TVs than the ones that are being recycled, so it just really swamped the financial mechanism that was in place. That was passed on to us. We had to pay for recycling of the glass the last couple loads of the year. Cost us $6,000, which was actually a $9,000 hit to our revenue stream. We renegotiated for 2015 at a much lower cost reimbursement to us, so we're going to see another decrease this coming year. Looks like we can make it happen. We've got some things to go through and some evaluations to do, but I think we'll be all right. Last thing I have is that with your new elections and new seatings, we have an opening on our board to replace the Sherrard.
Bieri, Gregg, and Fred.
That would be
Okay, Fred? Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel on this lead glass?
Well, projections are that it's going to be difficult to deal with for about the next 10 years.
Okay.
My experience on the monitor side, if you remember, flat screen monitors came out far earlier than the TVs did.
Sure.
We're still seeing 2 pallets of monitors go out every shipment. This is 10 years later. We've been in business for 10 years, and it's come down significantly. That's probably a 80% reduction, but it's going to be there for quite some time.
Thank you.
Do you recycle CFL bulbs? Or do
We
you,
do not right
you know
now.
where I can recycle some?
The last I heard, I think Lowe's, Menards might have had a program.
Okay,
Call first
okay,
and check.
thank you.
It just depends on what county you're in. Some of the health departments are doing it, some aren't.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, public comment. Any public comment, Jason?
I'm kind of, this has to do with zoning. I have spoken with the zoning officer and also the township assessors. It's kind of my knowledge that there are several parcels of ground. They're essentially the residential. As you see here, you took most of these properties today. They were carved out of AG1, and since they didn't meet the criteria, the minimum criteria of 15 acres that the county zoning board has, they were made R1. There's numerous properties in our county that were carved out and for some reason were never given the R1 rating, and just it seems to fall on deaf ears when I bring this to the attention. There's an attorney that works with the county on a lot of zoning issues that seems to want to take this issue and address it as what he says is gospel. And the zoning rules and regulations clearly read that if a parcel is not 15 acres, it does not classify as an AG1, and it needs to be R1. Just was wondering if the board can give any direction to me or to the zoning department to get this cleared up, because essentially our county's losing out on a lot of potential tax dollars by leaving these small little parcels as AG1, because the tax rate is much different than if it was R1.
Are these parcels have residences on them?
Yes.
Could you write that question down?
Yes.
Okay. Any other public comment?
Is that a question that should be really referred to the zoning
Yeah, I think
committee? Mark, you chair that, do you not?
Yes.
I think your committee should probably take a look at that issue.
I like, we'll take that in writing and we'll bring that to our committee down. I'm a few minutes.
All right, any other public comments? Okay. I make the motion to adjourn.
I made that motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.